Hello, this is Hellsen, and welcome back to our play by email versus Dean. Now we're going to watch the combat replay for December 10th, 1941. All right, so this should go a little bit faster. All the landings are done, so we won't have the 50 landings. It might be halfway quiet turn. Be honest with you, we're about a month or like 20 days ahead of this, so I don't remember exactly everything that happened. So it's be kind of watching it new again. Mainly, we're just moving forces into Clark, which is our first target. We're getting all our forces together in China. We'll be trying to move on Johor Bahru. And that's basically right. We're just trying to clean up the Philippines. And Malaya for right now, and get our forces ready for China. So there is one surprise ending or surprise that happens this turn or next turn that causes us to change your plans a little bit, and you'll see why. All right, so like I said, we were having some issues, or not really issues. His ASW is way better than you normally expect. So the I-5 was spotted from Pearl Harbor, so he sent out some destroyer escorts with some decent AA to push us back. So we moved even farther out from Pearl Harbor. So I don't think we're going to get much on Pearl Harbor, honestly. He did pull a fast one on us. He moved full speed out of the town north of Sydney that we did attack last turn. We had like bad weather, so it didn't do much. He did a full speed out, and we weren't able to catch anything because I was moving north because I was trying to. We're just farming. We got to get out of there. We got to get our carriers together because his entire fleet's in over in the Bay of Bengal, so we need to start getting there. So we do sweeps again. Nothing to catch. Finishing off some of the ships in Manila. Still decent amount of ships here, worth points. So we get one last final strike out of Kota Bru, and we will sink the AMC Kanimbla and pretty much probably get the Menorah as well. Finishing off some of the small things, all the AEMs, a couple AK at AKL. Got the last AKL. Got the Pillsbury finally to sink. So our fighter sweep sank a tanker by flying over it. All right, still bombing these guys. I don't know why I was doing it. It was so he didn't move in. I think we got enough forces there that even if he moved in, I wasn't really stressed about it. All right, 2 APs, and the AS is now, one of the AS is now sunk. Those were worth decent points. So pretty much Manila has been completely, anything that there's been taken out. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Now we're just bombing the airways or airfield at Hong Kong. We'll switch over to bombing the airfield at Clark next turn. All right, so we make a strike up here at the AK. We hit one bomb hit, probably sink that. Looking at the map, yeah, it'll be next turn that a route surprise pops in for us. Oh, nice. I forgot about these. Our Betty's, I lied. This is the last turn, but he was trying to sink some tankers up, and that doesn't work very well. We got the big tanker, which are the two, which is good. So yeah, out of Newcastle. So I was heading north. I was like, oh, I'll just finish this. He did a full speed run, expecting us to continue north, and he gets out of the range, so we do not sink those guys. So that was a good move on his part. I think we got like 2 AKs that were probably too damaged. They couldn't move anyways, so good move on his part. And this was a surprise for me. Remember I told you that these guys carry torpedoes, and they got a hell of a range. I think he must have flew these guys into Singapore and had torpedoes, but yeah, he ends up putting 2 torpedoes into an AK and sinking it. Almost all the way back to Cameron Bay. This is why I say that we're going to need heavy cover everywhere. So finally we get a hit on some of these Dutch ships fleeing with one of our Sirens. And then we get 2 into this AP heading this way. And the AK Somernas is going to get away. And another group of DDs are on I-5. So I think we finally take Kavieng. No. Yeah, paradrop shock attack. Across the river there, chasing the forces down towards Manila. That should be it for this phase. Yep. Alright, our air losses for the turn. We lose 1-1. So we lost to Tojo, he lost to DC2. We're looking great on army loss points. We're looking okay on aircraft points loss. Ship sunk, looking great. We lost 9 for 54. He's lost 129 to 96. Last turn, we're going to claim the AS Otis, 32 points. That AMC Kimbala, 27 points. Those 2 APs, 17 and 16. Tanker Shricks in the Mindanao are 15 points. That big AK, Dutch AK, we got one of those. That was 15 points. We lost the Mikhail Charus. We lost a 9 point there, but we did get the Tambu at 7. So not bad. That Newcastle. There was another one at Newcastle, so we saw in the sinking report. I'm surprised it doesn't show here. So I'm willing to bet we've sunk so many more points this than it's saying. Let's go ahead and look at our industry and resources. Our manpower is already down to 115,000 from 300,000 in the first turn. We've used almost 150,000 armament points. So yeah, it's going fast. Second. So 85.44, that's going to be in China. 111.45. I believe this is 11.45 is going to be like right here. Yes, Russian troops across the border staring at me. Okay. Ops report. Let's take a look at this. We're going to have a lot of things upgrading. Still moving the first glider infantry to Bangkok. Yep, a bunch of stuff upgrading in Tokyo. Bunch of divisions in Harbin. Getting these guys all upgraded before we send them into China. Bunch of things at Hankow. Again, these are all in China, just getting ready for the invasions. Or attacks. Even looks like the 16th division is upgrading. Some of our artillery upgraded at Iba before it moved in. So, not bad. Alright, so I believe... No, okay, not next. So to be not next turn, but probably the turn after that we will do our first target. So we'll say the first attack on Clark will be on the 12th of December. Believe, yeah, next turn we'll take Manila and we'll start pushing the rest of these guys out. For some reason I messed up. These guys decided to cross here instead of taking the road, so that we're a little behind here. So they will change, they'll march here and then down. These guys will then kind of rest up a couple days and they'll pursue these guys and we'll continue that way. The forces here, we're kind of going to split them up. So like half of them will go up to like the tank division, and the smaller unit will go up to take Ilolio. And then the big Naval Guard unit will land here at Bay and move up and take Tacloban, so we can finish off taking Samet and Leyte. And then we're going to continue pursuing these guys here and just chasing down and finishing off Mindanao. continue trying to get as many of the Dutch ships as we can get. Like I said, I changed the direction here because I knew he's moving away. We weren't going to really catch him unless I did a full speed run, and I didn't feel like it. So we're heading towards Darwin. These guys will continue moving north, and these guys will continue moving north. The plan right now is to move and bombard Cloncurry for strategic purposes. So we'll change that. We'll move here and bomb that because he has 400 resources here with no air cover or anything like that. So that's a good place to farm resource points or strategic points. He still has about 1,200 points on me, so we want to get as many of those as we can get. I think we're up to what, 742 strategic losses, so we're working on it. Getting everybody back to Cameron Bay, do repairs and things like that. We got that battleship, the Hasu, which wasn't. Well, we had the damaged ships. Most of them should be getting back into port from Cameron Bay, and we can upgrade those. And I believe probably about 3 turns will take Momay. Working on the airfields at Chiang Mai, Pensacola, and Bangkok. We'll eventually think about building up Utrecht as well, but that's what we're working on. Yep. So this turn, like, we will start our railroad into Burma this turn. It takes 25 days to build 1 hex space, so we need to get those guys into place so we can start building them. I believe I have one here, right? Yep. So we've started the Saigon track 2 to connect the railroad here. So that's our 2 biggest ones. We're going to start early. I will start Canton to Kukong, and then once we push out and push the troops out of Changsha, we will connect the railroad here and the railroad here. So that hooks up everything. I do want to hook up the railroad here, but that's going to take a while. I need to push the forces out of here to be able to get my engineers in there safely. So we'll start, like I said, next turn we will start bombarding the airfield at Clark, and then the turn after we will do our attack. We've cleared out Manila. Manila will fall. We'll finish off those. We'll probably cleared out these PT boats. I believe this, you might actually put out the fire and win. This AKL might make it. And last turn we did get our destroyer, the Hatsuki. This is the guy that took a hit from the Boise. It's in the shipyard. It'll be out in 8 days, so not bad at all. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure the battleship that took a torpedo, that's going to be in the fender for about 50 days, almost 2 months, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We'll get all our forces into Tokyo. We'll start expanding a lot of these guys, creating a lot of AMs, a lot of ACMs. We're going to start transferring a lot of these cargo ships to convert to troop carriers, because we're going to need a lot of troop carrying capacity. A lot of that's going to go all over the place. So, and we're just slowly going to resize our units and get them our planes building. Industry wise, since this is non-realistic R&D, these guys are just let's turn this off air. Basically, we just need time to build these guys up. So basically in 27 days our research will be full thing. So I think it worked out to be like January 5th is when we'll be full on researching everything. So that's kind of good. We do have some, when our research is done, like the long range Nick, we're already researching that. The 2A Helen, we're researching that, and one of the ones already on the A5N5 roof. So we do have a couple on the Jack, because this leads to some decent plane, but it's very, very late war, so we're not putting a lot of resources into it. We are working on the KI-85 recon plane, and then we're working on the heavy bombers. I'll probably resize this a little bit more. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but we're going to resize this just to build this up, because we're going to want to build a lot of these. So that's our 4-engine bombers. They have armor. They have really good range. They cost a lot more, but it's worth it. So I will say this. We have, what, about 11,600,000 supply. Now we're about on the 30th of December, the turn we just did, and this is already down to 9,300,000. So we've already spent probably close to 3 million supply in the first month of the war. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. The reason that's going so quick is because there's a realistic, right? So that, I mean, this, each one of these turns, there's like 83,000 supply going into just engines, air, you know, vehicles, armament points. We expand our naval system a little bit, so that's a lot of supply just heading out, right? So that's where we're at. We need to fix our supply lines, start getting resources. We're spending almost 88,000 resources a day negative. So we have to ship in at least 88,000 resources a day to keep Japan's industry going. I think we have like a 90-day supply. So I definitely want to start getting more in that and get it built up, because if for some reason the war goes bad and I start losing some of these resource lines, or he can start getting working subs and shooting every one of those he sinks, it might be like realistic Japan, what this industry would go ground to a halt. So it's going to be resources that is going to limit us. I don't think it's going to be oil and fuel as much as resources at $88,000 a day, or resource a day dollars. Yeah, $88,000 a day is what I'm losing. But so the next few turns, you're just going to see a lot of ships moving around. We'll be cleaning up the Philippines, like I said, clean up Malaya, and setting up for our attacks in China. We did take Loilang. We'll take Qingtao this turn. We'll take Saso this turn, so that opens the rail line up, which is nice. We're getting all our units moved to Taiyuan, but mostly we're waiting on everything to upgrade, mostly the AA. All right, so okay, we haven't got anything to Harbin. So I haven't, oh, that's Shangtan, Harbin. I have most of everything strategically moving to Harbin. And the reason we're doing that is because, say, I want to upgrade these guys. So this one's mostly upgraded, but see, it's already started upgrading. So we want to get all our artillery upgraded, our light tanks upgraded, our AA upgraded before I send these out, because once they start moving back in the hinterlands here, they're not going to upgrade. So I want to get them upgraded now before I start my attacks. One, to make their attacks much more effective, and two, like I said, we're not going to get them upgraded. So most of those are going to upgrade. We'll go to Taiyuan. We'll do our northern attack. We'll send the rest to Hankow. Half will go north, half will go south, and we'll try to do a pincer movement around Changsha. And then as we get reinforcements, depending on how our fight for Burma and maybe India is going, they all arrive in Cameron Bay. We'll put a attack force coming through from the south and pushing up as well. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for the day. I will catch you all later.